Good afternoon, everyone. In today's video, we're going to go through IXL assignment SBQ, write a ratio word problems. First, let's quickly review what a ratio is. So all a ratio is it's just comparing the amount that two different things have. So in this example here, it's 3 triangles to 2 squares. So that means these have a relationship. So for every 3 triangles, there are 2 squares. So if we had 6 triangles, there would be 4 squares. If we had 9 triangles, then there would be 6 squares. So that is a ratio, that is a relationship that stays consistent. There are 3 different ways that we can write a ratio. We can either write it using a colon, we can write it in word form using the word to, or we can write it as a fraction. The most common ways that you'll see it is either with a colon or with a fraction. Now, in today's assignment, we're going to be writing ratios, but we're going to be writing them from word problems. So let's go ahead and hop on over to that so we can write the comparison of 2 different things, like we went on here with pictures. 3 triangles for every 2 squares. 3 to 2 is that ratio. All right, here we are on IXL. Reminder, we are doing SBQ, write a ratio word problems. So as I do this, I'm always going to read each problem at least twice, because when you're dealing with ratios or even honestly any word problems, it's really easy to accidentally forget something or get something backwards. So just reading it a second time just to double check things is always a beneficial and a good strategy to use whenever you have a word problem. So there are 10 female teachers and 17 male teachers at Destiny's High School. What is the ratio of the number of female teachers to the number of male teachers? Now, when we're working with ratios, the order matters. So it is critical that we relook at this question to make sure we have the order and our numbers in the correct form. So we want the ratio of female teachers to male teachers. So when I go back and reread this problem again, I see that there are 10 female teachers and there are 17 male teachers. So I need to make sure I choose the ratio that's in the proper order. So we have the female teachers first, which is 10. And then remember, one of the ways we can write a ratio is with the word to. So that kind of helps us know that's where that break is. And if we write it as a colon, it would be 10 female teachers to 17 male teachers. And then we could also write this as a fraction, and it would simply be 10 over 17, because whichever format we use, because the female teachers is first in the question, then it needs to be first when we write our ratio. And that matches perfectly with this answer right here, 10 to 17. All right, let's try another one out. Doug's Burger Place made 29 burgers with onions and 6 burgers without onions. What is the ratio of the number of burgers without onions to the number of burgers with onions? Ooh, okay, we have two very similar things we're comparing here, one with, one without. So I really want to read this carefully to make sure I don't mess it up. So I'm going to go back and reread the question part, and I want the burgers without onions compared to the burgers with onions. So then when I read the first part with my information, I see that there are 6 burgers without and 29 burgers with. So even though, notice even color coding, so even though my question is written backwards from the way the information was presented, we have to look at the question because that tells us the correct order in which we need to set up our ratio. So the word to right here tells us we need burgers without compared to burgers with. So the burgers without was 6, and we're going to compare that to the burgers with, which is 29, and that matches this ratio right here. All right, let's go ahead and kick it up a notch here. Next problem says there are 17 gold coins and 11 silver coins in Leo's coin collection. What is the ratio of the number of silver coins to the total number of coins? All right, let's reread that question. We are comparing silver coins Then I see the word 2, so that's the break in our ratio. Total number of coins. Let's go back and find that information. So silver coins would be 11. Total number of coins. I see that we have 17 gold coins. That's not what it wants. It wants total number. Well, what can we do to find the total? Add them up. And sometimes you maybe have a little extra step to do in order to get this. So if we want to know the total number of coins, we need to add the 17 gold plus the 11 silver to give us 28 total coins. Now when we write our ratio, silver coins go first, which is 11, and then we're comparing that to total coins, which would be 28. And looky there, that matches one of our answer choices. And even though this isn't formatted as a fraction, we very well could write our ratio as a fraction as well, and that would be a correct answer too, in case we ever get any like that in the future. All right, let's step it up another notch here. So when we get a little bit higher into that SMART scores, instead of it being multiple choice, you're going to have to fill some blanks in here. So a hotel has 95, let me start over. A hotel has 95 clean towels and 5 dirty towels. What is the ratio of the number of clean towels to the number of dirty towels? Now, be careful because sometimes it may be just as simple as filling one number in, but remember that last example where we had to do the total. So don't go too quick on these. Make sure you really read it to ensure you're getting the right number in the box. So we're comparing the number of clean to the number of dirty towels. When I go back and reread the problem, I see there are 95 clean towels and 5 dirty towels. So our answer would be 95 clean to 5 dirty. And when I look at the answer box here, they already have the 5 in for us. So all we need to do is type in the 95 out front. And then we'll be able to hit submit and have the correct answer. All right, last problem type when you get even higher into the SMART scores is when you'll have to completely type the full ratio in. And I'm actually going to go ahead and read these directions first that tell us write your answer as 2 numbers separated by a colon. So it is telling us that in order to get this correct, we can't write it in fraction form. We have to continue to do it in colon form, which all of the other questions have been. So that kind of makes sense. All right. Let's now read the actual problem. There are 6 pink beads and 58 purple beads on Emmy's necklace. What is the ratio of the number of pink beads to the number of purple beads? So we want the ratio of pink to purple. Should have made my colors match, but I didn't. I'm thinking. All right, so if I go back and reread the problem, we have 6 pink and we have 58 purple. So when we have to type this out, remember that we have to go in the order that it asks us to. So 6 pink compared to 58 purple. I have it in the right format, number colon format, and then make sure that you are careful when you type this in that you don't have any typos or miss the colon or anything like that, so you don't get it wrong for, any typo reason like that. All right, let's do one final problem together, and then it'll be your time to shine. All right, final question here. Lila has 90 rose bushes in her rose garden. 68 of the bushes are blooming. What is the ratio of the number of bushes that are blooming to the number of bushes that are not blooming? All right, once again, kind of like that burger and onion one, these are super close, so be very, very careful. So we want the ratio of blooming to the number of bushes that are not blooming. So if I go back and reread this, I see that 68 are blooming, but this 90 is just saying she has 90 bushes. So do we know how many are not blooming? Not yet, but we can figure it out. So the problem gave us the blooming and then the total number of bushes. So what do you think we would need to do to find out how many are not blooming? This time we're going to subtract. So we have the total of 90 bushes, and then we're going to subtract the 68 that are blooming. So we're going to have to borrow here, giving us 22 that are not blooming. All right, let's write our ratio to finish this problem off. So we want the number of blooming, which was 68, compared to the number that is not blooming, which is 22. And you'll be able to just type that right in. Remember to use the colon. That's the format this is wanting us to use, and you'll get it correct. All right, it's now your turn to hop onto IXL and practice. Please remember that if you would like to see some more examples, IXL has an awesome video here for you that you can watch. So that way you can get some more examples and just hear it from a different perspective if you're still feeling a little shaky or need a refresher at any point while you're doing the IXL. All right, good luck. If you need anything, make sure to reach out to your teacher for help. Bye.